views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Hey, everybody. It is so great to be connecting with you, all of you. I'm Dr. Pat Baccili, and I'm here with my buddy, my friend, my colleague, Chip Justice. Many of you know about the Chip Justice Show, Positive Changes for a Life You Will Love. Today, we are kicking it up. The keys to happiness. It's free and can't be bought. But you know what? I love what Chip is creating. You know, it's one thing for us to be out in the world and to have an idea, as you have heard us talk about over and over and over again, about this theme for the year, which is, as many of you have asked us, accelerated expansiveness for abundance. Yes, it is. And how to go about that with the vibe and the flow of positivity. Now, there is a key relationship between happiness and positivity, and Chip is this amazing coach at the Positive Change Institute. He helps people all over the world do what you say? Well, yeah, learn about happiness, life, abundance, freedom, and kicking it up a notch at a time. Today's show is for everyone out there thinking that happiness is an illusion. It is not. And we are here today to say we are bringing this year in an expansive way that we have never done before on the Dr. Pat Show or Transformation Talk Radio. But sometimes we got to let go of the stuff holding us back. Chip, is that right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and Pat, you hit the nail on the head. You talked about happiness is not an illusion. Well, really, what we live in, that's the illusion. And you can choose to be happy. You can choose to be negative. You can choose to be positive. But, you know, there's something about positivity brings on happiness. And if you want to be happiness, try being just a little bit more positive. You know, the number of people that become, and with your last speaker, you were talking about becoming more abundant, in particular financially.
Yeah.
You want to start making more money? Start thinking positive.
Yeah.
Because if you're not thinking positively about making money, you're not gonna make money. You know, and if you are stuck in the $20 an hour job, and I've been there, and Pat, you have too.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have to have a little bit of drive, a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of ingenuity. You know, and we were talking right before the show about how when somebody does a little bit more, when somebody gets down to the bottom and they got to dig their way out, you know, that's when they start becoming inspirational. That's when they start finding things that help them become inspired. And when you don't have to be positive all the time, because, you know, really you got to put your head down and do work. And sometimes that's not about necessarily being positive, but it's also not necessarily about being negative. You know, so that time when you're not being positive or when you're not necessarily happy, do what you can not to be negative, because that negativity, it spreads. And you talked about it in the last show. It's that energy, and that energy goes around, and nobody wants to work with a negative person. And if they don't want to work with you, how are you going to make any money? You're not. It's impossible for people to want to work with you if you're negative. So if you don't want to make money, stay right on that positive track. On that negative track. That's the positive direction you're heading.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is really the game changer for us. You know, we have a friend and a host that does an entire business show and business game changers. But there's something that we're talking about here that has to do with an energetic game changer. And that is looking at happiness in the multifaceted ways that you're talking about it today. You know, one of the things you say is that it can't be bought. But, you know, some people think it can, and we are on the proverbial roller coaster ride to try to grab it, shift it, change it, eat it, speak it, breathe it, but all around how much money we have in our bank account. So what have you learned to secure happiness?
You know, we talk about finances and we talk about money. And to be honest, folks, happiness does not come with money to a certain point. Now, there is a lot of scientific, a lot of evidence proving that happiness, the most happiness is in between the range of a person's annual salary. What you bring home is somewhere between $75,000 to $150,000 a year. And believe it or not, folks, those people that make over $150,000 a year tend to be more unhappy. Now, I didn't say necessarily negative, but they are unhappy, and they're unhappy with their life. Why? Because they don't understand that there is no such thing as a perfect pickle. You know, there are all kinds of pickles, and everybody likes different size pickles: small pickles, medium, large, zesties, dills, Polish pickles. There is no such thing as the perfect pickle. So those people who are unhappy tend to believe that because they're not perfect, or that they're not doing it the right way or the right thing, that they're, for some reason, not successful. And see, that's those people that are making that over $150,000 a year. They're chasing that dollar, thinking that at some point in time, that's when you'll be successful. That's when you'll be happy. And I'm here to tell you, folks, it's not true. You're chasing a ghost if you're chasing the money. You know, if we look at what makes a person successful, what makes them happy, we really look at the risk that we're taking, you know, the drive and what we're going to, whether it's your purpose or the people that you're sharing it with. But there is, and I constantly say it, and I think you've heard me say it just about every show, Pat, we are not successful alone. You won't be happy if you're sitting in your cabin in West Virginia alone all by yourself. No. Just because I'm snowed in here in West Virginia doesn't mean that I'm not happy. But if I was to sit here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not socialize with anybody, do you really think that I could be truly happy? Well, most people would probably agree that you can't. You know, and that's the same with money. Is you got to figure out what's enough, when. Where in life are you going to be happy? What things are you going to do? And actually, a lot of the millennials nowadays, they're heading in this direction. And you know, if there's a couple of positive things about the millennials, it's that they are trying to be more happy. And they're doing a lot more research and learning and understanding how to be happy. And that's really part of happiness, is learning. If you think about when you were happy most, I bet $1 to none that most people will say that they were happiest in their elementary school years, or even any school years. Why? Because, well, they weren't worried about money.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they had to have, so they had some type of money that they had from their parents, and but that wasn't really what made them happy. It was the socializing. It was getting to talk to other people and find out what drives them, what inspires them, what is it that they like. Actually engaging with people. Now, the other thing that we have with millennials is they're constantly looking down at their phones, and we have to work on that for the next generation.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it isn't just them doing that. I'm telling you, it isn't just them doing that, because here's the thing. I'm not a millennium, and I am guilty. I am guilty, Mr. Chip Justice. I'm going to say right here on Live Talk Radio, I am guilty of that thing. And not only that, I'm sitting there with Linda, who's visiting my best friend, and I'm telling you, I said to her the other day, you're going to love this, right? I said, you know what? Let us stop playing this video game. My God, there are two of us sitting here. We don't have a lot of time to use it. How about playing some cards? No, not video cards. But isn't this really what we're talking about? You're talking about, look, let us not create a larger gap between the way we connect or how we honor each other. Because guess what? There is that joyful feeling of happiness, even if I'm out over there with you, snowed in West Virginia. I'm sorry, Chip. I didn't mean to laugh at you about that, but I mean,
the 40 inches that fell on my balcony that I had to shovel off, to get out, that broke my back. That's okay. I'll be fine.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But here you are. You get to look out your door at some beauty, sitting out there. But aren't you talking about the beauty on the inside?
Absolutely, and that really is the whole purpose of what we're talking about in this. Like you were talking about, the accelerated expansiveness for abundance.
Oh yeah.
This is this is learning you, and when you learn you and you can share that, it's that abundance of saying, hey, I am different. I am my own pickle.
Yeah.
I don't have to necessarily play by anybody else's rules. Why? Because it's all made up. And you make up your own world. You make up your own happiness. So why not make up a positive track, a positive plan, and put that plan, that action into place. And then from that action, you have potential. And from potential, when you keep building that momentum, you're going to get results. One way or another, I guarantee you're going to get results.
Yeah.
And from that, you're going to have a newfound belief about yourself, about the things that you can do, the challenges that you can overcome, because there really is nothing that can stop you. The only one stopping you is you.
Well, this is really the beginning of a big conversation about the keys to happiness. When we come back, we're going to talk about, Chip is going to walk us through this. What are the keys to happiness? How do we know we have them? And what have we discovered along the way about what happiness feels like, looks like? Let's take a short break, everyone. If you want to find out more about Chip, go to the website, chipjustice.com. When we come back, get ready. Keys to happiness. Chip Justice. We'll be right back.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when we live in our dream. Everything is better when we stick together.
Transformation Talk Radio is dedicated to the education and awareness of Lyme disease.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Lyme Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Pat, joined here by
Dr. Nusheen Darvish.
Dr. Pat Basili and Dr. Nusheen Darvish will be bringing the most innovative, groundbreaking information, research, treatment innovations, and stories from those it affects every day.
I'm so excited to be talking about this.
We have so much to share.
Dr. Darvish and I are planning to do is connect the dots.
People suffering with all sorts of chronic diseases, it's time. It is time for them to transform.
Tune into Lyme Talk Radio and help keep our mission strong.
For the loyal listeners out there that have been listening to this incredible show on Lyme disease, we are not going to let you down. We're going to come through stronger and enrich the platform for Lyme disease awareness through Lyme Talk Radio. The message will continue. The conversations will become stronger. and the healing epic. Hi everyone, this is Dr. Pat. The ancient Inca root vegetable maca is world-renowned for its wide array of health benefits. As a family-run company of true maca specialists, the maca team's mission is to provide you with fresh, organic, premium quality maca powders at a fair price. Amazing. All of the products are always organically grown, fair-traded, GMO-free, fresh, and potent. So don't take my word for it. Experience the life-changing benefits of maca today. Visit themacateam.com.
Enlightening, humorous, and compassionate. Listen live to The Kelly Ballard Show, insight and inspiration from the great beyond. Kelly is a fourth-generation medium and intuitive who covers topics ranging from grief, spirit guides, and listening to your intuition. Kelly can help you get answers and guidance from the other side with a little bit of humor and a lot of healing. Tune in to The Kelly Ballard Show, Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Time here on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Ronnie DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Ronnie DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Ronnie DeLuce at info@ronniedeluceonradio.com and visit mtheholisticretreat.com. Dr. Ronnie DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
Are you ready for a game changer? Sarah Westall is bringing you Business Game Changers Radio. Sarah brings you leading experts, visionaries, and newsmakers who provide the best commentary on big issues and cutting-edge innovations. Sarah's 20 years as a business executive will help you think like an entrepreneur with expertise, energy, and attitude. Tune in to Business Game Changers Mondays at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Wow. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I'm so thrilled to be here with Chief Justice. The keys to happiness. It's free and can't be bought. I love that. You know, can't be bought. Doesn't matter how much money you get, it can't be bought. And, you know, today we get to take this journey and walk things. It's not because, you know, we're just making things up as we go. You can bet that we have been down a pathway where unhappiness has shown up. And there are a few things that perhaps that we'd like to share with you about this. Chip, what have you learned about the keys to happiness?
Well, one of the main keys, Pat, is really education and learning you. And when I say that, I want to talk to you and tell you a little bit of the story. And now this story, you can hear it in great detail. It's from Ben Wallace. Excuse me. Dan Gilbert. You've probably seen Dan. He does some commercials for, it's not E.F. Hutton, Fidelity as well. But Dan really is he's a motivational speaker. He's a college professor and finance guru. But Dan also knows something about what he calls the science of happiness. You know, and we have this this precortical or prefrontal cortex, and it does a lot of things. But one of the most important things is that it helps you experience life, and it helps you decide on the things that you want to do. And so in this talk that Dan gives, he talks about this 2002 Harvard class that he was teaching, and there's 12 students, and they talk about change. And at the beginning, these 12 students, they had the ability to change their grade at the end by submitting a new product, a new paper. And if they didn't like their grade. Well, the problem is if they went with the new product, the new paper, that they were stuck with that grade. And so the students actually were really unhappy because they had the choice, the ability to choose, ooh, do I keep this grade or do I choose another grade? So the next class, Dan Gilbert took another 12 students, and he didn't give that class the ability to change their grades at the end. And he found out that there was a direct correlation of those students being happier because they didn't have the ability to change their grade at the end. They had the ability to focus, and they focused on one thing, and they did that to the best of their ability. Now, if you remember the class I was telling you about, they actually did 2 papers. And they tried to do 2 papers in the same amount of time to their best of their ability. So which do you think that you would have more angst and more fear about? The one that you worked harder on. And it's kind of funny. It's ironic how many students, they wanted to take the class that they were going to be unhappy at taking. Because they wanted to be able to change their grade. And it's mind-blowing. 66% of his students preferred to be in that class where they were going to be miserable. And that's really a lot of what the workforce is like nowadays. So many people are out there, are unhappy, they're miserable, they hate their jobs. And depending on who you talk to, 50 to 75% of all the people out there hate their job. Now, if you work in a building where everybody hates their job, then that's a lot of negativity. And it piles up and it builds and the frustration builds. And negativity breeds negativity, just like positivity breeds positivity. So if you want to be unhappy at work, continue working and doing those unhappy things, working twice as hard to make a boss who's less appreciative of you, less happy of you. And I'm not saying go out and quit your job today. But I would ask, why are you in a job that you hate? And that's a lot of what contributes to a lot of people's happiness. You're spending 1/3 of your life, pretty much, at work. So if 1/3 of the amount of time you are miserable, you had the ability to apply for and accept that job prior to being unhappy. You were happy at one time when you took that job, or maybe you weren't unhappy, and you went into the job unhappy. Knowing that you were going to be unhappy for that job makes you even unhappier and more negative. And it spirals. It spirals down just as quick as it spirals up. And we want to spiral up, people. It's that belief in yourself, the belief that you can do it. That little train that can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Going up that hill. It's hard. Happiness, it doesn't come easy. We talked about the original key and going back to it. Education. Learning is hard, folks. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes energy. Just like you do at work, it takes time. It takes energy. And if you want to start being a little bit more happy, learn about yourself. And if you don't want to learn about yourself, go to an institution. They will help you learn. And I'm not talking about a mental institution.
No. But
I'm talking about a university, a college, someplace that challenges you and challenges your mind. That really is the key to happiness. And if you talk to people about couples therapy even, why are couples happy with one another? Because they challenge one another. They make each other happy to get out of bed in the morning. Every day I wake up and I see my girlfriend and I give her a big old hug and a kiss because she inspires me. She challenges me. And that really makes it even a stronger, healthier, happier relationship. All because of taking positive steps, positive directions. It's one step at a time get your train up over that hill.
Yeah. One of the things that we were talking about earlier today was the idea of instilling ourselves with the fuel of confidence and faith. The belief that, first of all, the ideas that we have are unlike anybody else's, and that we don't have to prove ourselves to launch the dreams of our lives. We have to look at, a level of awareness to get some insight as to how to go about this. And that's what I think you're talking about today. You're talking about, what does this mean for us? How do we do it? We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Chip is going to take us on a journey of what does it mean to take a risk on happiness. And, that I love that language about that because, sometimes in the world that we live in of positive energy and vibration, we're afraid to even face our fears. We're afraid to acknowledge the fact that, sometimes taking a risk on happiness is exactly the way it feels. But what does that really mean? What is that about? When we come back, Chip is going to take us on a journey on how do we transcend this idea of risk and go from risk to reality. How do we embrace the idea of happiness in the way things show up in life, the results? Happiness begs happiness. And that's what this is about today. Are you ready to be infueled, evoked, and enacted into a world of happiness in results, in joy, both inner and out? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The doctor is in. Tune in to the hit show, The Psychic Love Doctor, with host Deborah Lee. Deborah's life-affirming, highly perceptive reading method has taught Deborah how to zero in on specific problems with relationships, career pursuits, and current roadblocks to success and happiness. Join Deborah Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific, and for a special broadcast the second Thursday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Do you want the freedom to spend more time with your loved ones? Travel the world? Live spontaneously? Get ready, because the Chip Justice Show is here. Hosts Dr. Pat Basile and Chip Justice can help you build meaningful success while embracing life. Living a life you love is the end game in this new, inspirational, and empowering show. Positive changes for a life you'll love. Tune in every month on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit PositiveChangeInstitute.co for more information.
Tune in to the Angels and Answers Psychic Radio Show with clairvoyants Artie Hoffman and Sky Siegel every Thursday for a 2-hour show, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio. Artie and Sky deliver spiritual and motivational messages with passion and a sense of humor. Call in 800-930-2819 for live and on-air readings. Visit ArtieHoffman.com and SkyofAngels.com.
What is a Master Soul Gardener? With Nomi Bahar, you can be one too. Her revolutionary Gates of Power method is a comprehensive program that addresses every aspect of yourself and gives you the tools to tend to the seeds of your soul's garden. Let Nomi guide you through and beyond what's holding you back and help you embrace the life you've always dreamed of. To learn more about upcoming classes and workshops, visit gatesofpower.com today.
A word of caution: if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
What are vibes? We often use this word, but did you know vibes can actually be useful and help solve our everyday challenges? Embark on an exciting learning journey with Caitlin Keat, 11-time Visionary Award winner, specialist in vibrational energy and the creator of Vibes Up. Join Caitlin as she takes you through the world of vibrational therapy and energy healing with natural solutions for a modern world. Visit vibesup.com to learn more today.
Wow. Hey, everybody. It's great. Chip Justice is joining me here today. We're talking about the keys to happiness. And, there are keys. But part of that is, looking at to what length are we willing to go? To what length are we willing to go? What is it about happiness that people all over the world have talked about, have studied, and yet at the same time, if it's such an open book, why aren't we all happy? And so part of this, Chip, is you having a conversation with us about the risk of happiness. But before we do that, I wanted to take a minute for you to talk a little bit about the Positive Change Institute, and if you could just tell folks what that is and how that enables folks to step more into a level of empowerment and live in the world. I think it's important to stop for a minute, take a pause, and talk about that.
Well, great. Thanks, Pat. I really appreciate this. So the Positive Change Institute, we are a collection of coaches. I have a few coaches now that work the whole gamut. Like myself, I work predominantly with mid and senior level executives and career agents, if you will. We have other people who work with you on personal fitness and physical fitness and losing weight. And we have other people helping you with gaining that life or that career that you've always wanted. So we are here growing with you, and we're going to help you by teaching you what you don't learn in school. We're going to help you learn how to be successful on the playground of life. We're going to help you in defining your purpose, your happiness, and help you become a more positive and changed individual. Because really, you are going to go through a change. I can't recommend coaching enough, and not just because I'm a coach, but it's because it will make you more successful. Before I became a coach, I had a coach. I had several coaches, and I still do. And the reason I have coaches is that they bring out the best in me. They help me talk through, think things aloud. They help me understand a different point of view and how people see things differently. A coach will ask you questions and show that they're listening to you and that they're engaged in the conversation. That's what a coach is here for. And a coach isn't to get in your head and be a psychologist, or we're definitely not going to sign any medication and provide you with any pills. A coach is another sounding board that you can use to make you better. And that's what we do at the Positive Change Institute.
Yeah. And there's no question about it. I actually work with 3 coaches. And so, because many times, Chip, folks listen to the show and they think that, Pat, you sound like you really have it together. Well, by the time I come on air, that is absolutely true. But behind the scenes, I'm like everybody else. I have my fears. I have, my addictions. I have all of the above. But in the end, one of the things I know is that each and every one of us has a gift to bring forth in the world. And that's what, becoming a coach, getting a coach will help us with. And the time is now. I mean, it ties right in to the theme for today and talking about happiness. But, let's talk about this thing that I said, before. that you want to bring forth here, and that's the risk of happiness. That sounds like an interesting statement.
Well, and that's one of the many reasons why you probably are going to want a coach, because sometimes when you are taking a risk, in fact, probably most of the time when you're taking a risk, there's a voice inside your head. You have a good voice and you have a bad voice. Which voice are you listening to? But that voice is going to tell you, no, don't do it. Or they're going to say, yes, go for it because you can. There is, every time that you go after something, you're taking a risk. If you're going after a new career, if you're going after a new relationship, I just had a great conversation earlier this morning with one of my clients talking about this very thing. And we really didn't fix anything today, and we never fix anything. I help, a coach helps solve. And if you have something that you're trying to say, get out and put down on paper, a coach will help you do that, or make something physically tangible. But this time today was a little bit different. The coach session was more of listening, of being that other voice. In fact, she was looking in particular for a male perspective because of a relationship that she wants to really go after, because this is the one that she doesn't want to lose. And why? Because she started to find love. And love is very powerful, and it's very positive. You want to move somebody, you want to put little thoughts in someone's head, let them understand that you love them. Love them as a person, as an individual, for who they are and what they bring to the table, for the risk they took to get there, to be in your life. That's all part of love and everything else. It's taking a risk on your happiness. If you were going to sit around on your couch watching soap opera TV or NCIS or whatever it is that you watch, and you sit on your couch and you wonder, well, why don't I do this, or why don't I do that, or why don't I make this much money? Well, let's start by saying you're sitting on the couch. That's not the step in the positive direction that you need.
Yeah.
It's getting up off that couch. It's taking that first step, making that first phone call, reaching out, letting someone know that you care, that you want to listen, that you'll dare to be different, whatever it takes. That's that risk, that drive, that ambition. And when your ambition is unbounded, the amount of joy that can come to you, it's mind-blowing. It's so hard to explain. It's better than any drug. And believe me, I was in my younger days when I used to follow the Grateful Dead. I've done but the power of love that is one of the biggest risks that you're probably going to ever take. Why? Because it's the most personal. It's the most closest and dearest to your heart. It's letting someone in, letting someone get to know you, the true you, for who you really are. And when you love somebody, that's what happens. You have to take that risk that they'll love you back, and that they'll do this, that they'll reciprocate, that they will let you in. And if they don't reciprocate, talk to them. Another key, communication. If you sit there on the couch and you're thinking why, and you're not expressing, or you're not having, not necessarily critical, but more constructive conversation, then you can start to make a plan to go forward and not worry, not be so fearful of the risk. It's what in business we call risk mitigation. It's having a plan in place for when you don't achieve what it is that you're looking to achieve by taking the risk.
Yeah.
And that's okay to have a mitigation plan. Why? Because everybody fails. You talked about it. When people want to know, why is it, Pat, that you're so successful? They don't understand the power failure that you might have had over the weekend or whatever that your challenges are. And everybody has challenges, and everyone, and I do mean everyone, is going to fail.
Yeah, what I love about this is, I'm grateful for my mom who taught me the power of perseverance in ways that I don't even know how to explain to people. But that's also what you're talking about. And, I wanted to say for those of you out there, what Chip does every show, he graciously offers and generously offers a 1-hour discovery session. So I'd like to go ahead and first caller, if you would like to have a time with Chip so you can work through this, please go ahead, 1-800-930-2819, and we'll have to go to the first caller here because I think that's the rules somehow. 1-800-930-2819, 1-hour session. And while we're doing that, I want to make sure that all of you know that you too can not just gain the benefit of a coach, but you can become a coach. It's one of the fastest growing segments we have right now for people that want independence, want to learn the spirit of entrepreneurial strategies, but most importantly, want to take a positive view on coaching. The old guard of, selling, dictating is gone. This is the age of empowerment, of positive change. So one of you out there, you want to work with Chip for an hour or so, get some insight, 1-800-930-2819. When we come back, Chip does this every show. There's a salute that he provides. And boy, I'm telling you right now, the people that serve this country, they are suffering right now. And he has been dedicating his life to people that have done this and provides them with the basis of help. We're going to take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back. And how do we salute our veterans? How do we go about that? What are the challenges? But most importantly, how can we open our hearts up to love, compassion, and provide a gateway to happiness for all? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Has asthma or allergies got you singing the raspy blues? Allergy and Asthma Networks is the nation's premier nonprofit patient-centered network of doctors, caregivers, patients, and healthcare professionals who are dedicated to ending death and suffering due to asthma, allergies, and related conditions. Join President and CEO Tanya Winders each month on the Dr. Pat Show to learn more and visit allergyasthmanetwork.org today. Breathe better together with Allergy and Asthma Network.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Atana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Atana Badili. All you need to do is visit his website, atanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's atanamethod.com.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Do you know how to achieve wellness in all areas of your life? Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Signs of wellness are a capacity to love and ability to nurture, a sense of purpose, a good sense of humor and plenty of fun in your life, a concern for others and a respect for the environment, a conscious commitment to personal excellence, a sense of balance and integrated lifestyle, and capacity to cope with whatever life presents. Well people enjoy their lives and want them to last as long as possible. That's why the wellness mindset usually accompanies other constructive, healthy lifestyle habits. By adopting a wellness mindset and behaviors like eating well, taking the right nutrition for the body, exercising, and saying affirmations are just a few things to structure a healthy system of values and beliefs. Call us at 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. And visit us at MaryJaneMack.com.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Honestly, don't give up the fight. So get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up.
Wow. Hey, everybody. I love this topic. For those of you out there, I want to just say to everyone that if it wasn't for the people that have shown up for me in my life, I mean, I actually don't know where I would be today or what I would be doing. And I'm not one of these people that is very good at asking for help. As a matter of fact, you know, I was just struggling over this today. I'm writing a letter to people out there that we've had on air, Chip, in the past 13 years, asking for their support in our crowdfunding campaign, not for donations, but just to give a gift. And it's really sometimes extremely difficult for us, you know, some of us that have been independent to ask for help. But, you know, I'm getting older and I'm getting better. I guess I'm like a fine wine, right? Just like you are. That's why you're here, to support our vets and talk about this. Every segment, every show, you have a segment. I got to ask you, tell us about the segment, but why are you so passionate about this?
So, Pat, you kind of hit the nail on the head. We are like a fine wine. And some of us are more of a red or a rosé, and some of us are maybe a Chablis. But I prefer to think that I'm more of a red. I'm more of a kind of an in-your-face.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we're going to make things happen. And some of us are like Chablis. And when I say that, we're rosy, we're happy, but yet maybe we might get past because there's a lot of red drinkers out there, especially since it's really good for your health. 1 glass a day for females and 2 glasses a day for males over the age of 21. So, but with that Chablis, those are the older veterans. Mm-hmm. Those are our veterans in distress. All too often, the problems are on the inside. It's in their head. Just like a lot of things. And we talked about this world and how it's all made up. But the mental anguish that's going on with our vets, sometimes it's unbearable. So much so that we have 22 veterans a day that commit suicide. Mm-hmm. And those veterans, that most of them are over the age of 50. And that's what I talk about with this fine wine. We are going to be around a while. We're going to be sitting there on the shelf. Don't break glass in case of emergency, because hopefully we don't ever have to recall those veterans. But those veterans that are in distress, we want you to know that you are not walking alone, that there are other people here like you that want to help you, that will listen. They want to help you from whether it's suicide or PTSD or any other service or just life-related concepts, problems, thoughts, and challenges. The veterans today, we have so many places where you can go. And a couple of places I want you to, if you are a veteran or on active duty, either one. You can go to Battle in Distress. That's BATTLE in distress.org, or standbesidethem.org. Both organizations are here to help you with the stress, to make you more resilient, and to connect with you on the issues that you're having. Why? Because you matter. Because the service that you provide, we want to show that we're here to support you. And like a fine wine, you might think that you're too good to ask for help, but ask for help. And that's why I give you battleInDistress.org and standbesidethem.org. Those two organizations with myself are here to stand beside you when you ask for help. Thanks, Pat.
Well, Chip, this is really very important in so many ways. It is a conversation that, I've talked about over time. My family have served the country, and I wish I could say that I haven't seen exactly what you're talking about in my own family. I had an uncle who came back from war, and silent and ignored pretty much, and really praised for heroics. And one day he decided to take his life. And, we now know much more about how we can support others in this way. And, the difference is today, this used to be a conversation, Chip, about men. And now it's not. We're talking about both men and women. And we're talking about the magnitude of this. But I love what you're talking about, because you're stepping out with action that is going to help. And so the hardest part about this conversation is that the people that are directly affected are the last ones that would ask for help. So for people listening, the families, the friends of somebody let them know about what Chip is doing. Because if you are that person like my Uncle Johnny was, this was not going to be a man that said, I need help. But what you're doing is a message for the families and the friends to say, we can do something now. So I thank you for that, Chip.
No, thank you, Pat, for the time. And, I want to stress this a little bit more. Asking for help for the veterans of today and the veterans of tomorrow, it is a risk, because we're taught that we don't ask for help, that we're taught that we keep driving forward and keep going forward. And it's very challenging and very hard, because there's something about this little pride factor inside a lot of us. And the women are getting the same thing, because they have entered the combat ranks.
Yes.
And now they're even segregating the Marine Corps training. This is going to be even more occurring for our women veterans in the future. And I hate to see any brother or sister take their life. It's we owe them a lot more, and our veterans deserve a brighter future. So let's let us help them create it.
Yeah, I love it. Chip, again, chipjustice.com. Thank you so much for all that you do. One last question in general. What's your personal message for all of us today on happiness?
Happiness doesn't come without taking a risk. Take that first big step. You'll be amazed at yourself.
Yeah. Thank you so much. chipjustice.com, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat, host of the Dr. Pat Show. You can check us out. Go to the drpatshow.com or go to transformationtalkradio.com. And, remember this, this is not something that is optional and only for a few. Happiness is truly our birthright. I hope you've heard something here today that will allow you to bring this forth into your life and think about it for others. We'll see you next time.
preceding audio was via a Skype call.